EA is laying off staff across multiple Battlefield studios, and that's shocking for one big reason. Battlefield 6 is one of the best-selling games of the year, and it even won awards at the Game Awards show. So how does a franchise go from massive success and industry recognition to layoffs across the teams that's building its future, quote unquote? That's the big question right now, because if a game can sell millions, win awards, and still lead to cuts inside the studio, what does that say about the state of AAA development?
I'm honored to tell you.
Well, here's what we know. EA is restructuring development across the Battlefield teams, and that restructuring reportedly involves layoffs at several studios connected to the franchise. What makes this situation unusual? Like I said, Battlefield performed very, extremely well, whatever stat you want to put on it. It was considered the best-selling game of 2025. Huge player engagement and massive recognition at the Game Awards. Mind you, that was all initially, and we're now 6 months removed, but normally that kind of success leads to expansions, not layoffs and cuts. So the debate now is whether EA is tightening development to focus on the franchise, or if something deeper is happening behind the scenes about AAA games, on how they're made, and what kind of success they need to maintain months after launch. All right, so I do want to build context for this topic in what the intro said. This is coming off like many tries at the player engagement online still months after launch. Like we reported, we put this up, I think it was the player count or concurrent player count was up against Arc Raiders, and Arc Raiders blew Battlefield 6 out the window. We've made other Battlefield 6 videos about how the player count is struggling. A lot of people have commented that, hey, I've installed the game, it's shit. It's like, I might pop up some comments because people have been voicing their disappointment for this game since launch. And yes, launch was very successful. Best-selling game of 2025 and won an award at the Game Awards. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was, or I think, no, it was for the soundtrack. It won the soundtrack award. And so, I mean, Battlefield 6 and in what it means, it was a success. Now, maintain success 6 months removed, I don't think EA really put that much money into it. So I think they are in the profit or in the black for Battlefield 6. But now that they see that they can't get the player count back up and maintain it, they are now cutting. Now, these cuts are also in the wake that EA sold themselves to that overseas, whatever, company or group of companies that was. So EA across the board, even with the Sims 4, they like, hey, this is our last thing. We're not putting out any more updates or expansions on the Sims 4, which is a fucking printing money making machine for EA. Now they're laying off when a game is not really doing what it needs to do and maintain player count. They're laying off, like they're trying to make this more attractive for the buyers. Buyers are already dictating a lot of shit behind the scenes. We all know how that shit goes. So they're already looking at the numbers like, hey, cut the fat, cut the fat, cut the fat. Listen, it's very unfortunate anytime that anybody becomes unemployed in 2026, because the job market right now, even in gaming, is just atrocious. Like the unemployment rate in the US, this is not to get political, it's just at an all-time high, and it's really outrageous. And so listen, to be unemployed in 2026 is very unfortunate. I hope whoever was a part of these layoffs find work soon. My heart goes out to them. This is not surprising. Now, the whole AAA game development. Listen, if you are in this rat race that is a live service model, it's just like a race against the clock. You cannot maintain the pace, because people lose interest very quickly. And like the comments in our past Battlefield videos, once you piss off the players, they move on. And when they move on, don't come back. So a lot of people gave Battlefield 6 a lot of chances, and they finally were just fed up. And like one commenter that I'm thinking of said, I uninstalled the game for X, Y, and Z. And I get it. And this was a full price game. This is $60-$70, whatever you pay for it, plus whatever microtransactions they squeeze out of you. So you like when you compare that to something like Arc Raiders and even Marathon, $40, like $40 to $70 $30, like that $30 makes a complete difference in what people expectations are for the online and the continuations. And people are a lot more forgiving for a $40 live service game than a fucking $70. That's just a fucking facts. And listen, if I don't buy Battlefield. I don't buy Call of Duty because it's just a fucking rat race. And I have been long disappointed with both franchises. And even though Battlefield 6 was a reclaim the fame, I guess in the single player, but online, I guess listen, if the shit ain't working, the shit ain't working. So listen, it is what it is. Battlefield 6 updates will probably be a lot more slower, if anything, probably. So maybe they can do a Division 2 like with what Ubisoft is doing. I don't know, but listen, Battlefield is EA really gonna give a fuck about anything going forward now with this game? Probably not. But I'll turn it over to my cousin.
I was very shocked to see this news. Let me rephrase that. I was not very shocked. I was thrown off because EA, in all their money hungry grubbiness, they finally had a win. They finally achieved what they have tried so many years. They tried it with the Medal of Honor series. They tried it so many entries with Battlefield to topple and outdo Call of Duty. And now they fucking finally do it. You finally won, bud. You finally did it, George. You finally did it. And what do? You gut the studios. You tear them apart. Now, there was a lot of speculation going online that this is more EA trimming the fat, or their Saudi Arabia partners is about to purchase them, trying to clear the way for this deal to get through. But at some point, how do you have huge success? And I will say huge, because to outperform Call of Duty, not just by sales metrics, but the critics, the fans, it is across the board. But then at the same time, as Infamous has said, this live service shit is getting old. You need to hold the people's audience, and if you ain't doing it, they move on. These new games are failing. They're not lasting a year. Here you have a main staple multiplayer shooter. This game goes back generations of consoles, PCs, Battlefield 1942, Battlefield Bad Company 2. And your player base has fallen off so significantly, you couldn't retain them? So let this be a lesson. This be a lesson to everybody who thinks of, this game, it'll be great. You think so? You think so? The giant couldn't do it. You think the little guy will?
Well, Arc Raiders is doing it.
Well, the little people are doing it. They're giving players exactly what they want. But Arc Raiders was smart. They didn't say, hey, yeah, they came at them with $40. They didn't come at them with no $70. But not even just that. They're humble. They say, hey, we're going to listen to you. And of course, they're not owned by EA. I mean, that plays a lot in. You're not owned by, I think it was 3 years in a row, they were voted the worst company in America.
The most hated company.
Yeah. So that says a lot. But I'm going to be transparent. Yeah, I don't play these games like that either. I mean, we were talking about leading up to its launch. Hey, it does look good. It looked nice, and it might be an infamous. Oh, he bought it on sale, but it was like probably not, because one, we're not first person gamers. That's whether it's co-op or whatever the hell it may be. And then I used to play Battlefield. I played Battlefield Company 1 and 2. I like the story, and I've tried many times to get into it. It just ain't me. I'm trying to run around, pop somebody, kind of more arcade-ish. Battlefield was a little more serious on the nose, and it's just not my cup. It just
I seen a meme somewhere, and it was like, in your younger gaming years, you live for online multiplayer, but in your older gaming years, you live for single player experiences and peace of mind.
Sure do.
Fucking facts,
yo. You ain't lying.
Fuck it. We grew up playing Call of Duty too. Modern Warfare.
Yep.
No, bitch. I will not subject myself
not anymore.
To foolishness.
But if I have to truly be honest, it is sad to see this, because I do know that team, they put in the work to turn this game around from what the disaster of 2042 was, and to see it being so discarded and cast aside because, just player retention, it just goes to show, hey, as we say, fuck PlayStation and etc., fuck EA. These corporations just don't care. They don't give flying shits.
They don't care about your feelings.
This game did something that no one ever thought would happen. It toppled hard. And what do they have to show for it? Bye-bye, out the door. So, damn. But whew, to everyone affected by it, I truly hope they land on their feet. I truly
Yeah.
hope there's some developers that says, hey, we can use some grade A devs about making good shooters. So best of wishes to you.
Yep, but listen, comment down below. Is Battlefield in trouble again? Is the franchise in trouble? Let us know what you think and how you feel in the comments down below.
And that's it for this video of Are You Not Entertained podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you'll never miss our next hot take. Until next time, Are You Not Entertained?